Hello and welcome to the Ridiculously Good VA Show with Tracy Daviero. If you are a virtual assistant or want to be one, this is the place to learn the tips and tricks you need to become a ridiculously good VA. I've been a part of the VA industry since 1998, and I'm excited to get to know you and help you build an amazing business. Let's go. Hey there, welcome to another episode of the podcast that teaches you how to be a ridiculously good virtual assistant. Today I want to talk about getting other people to say how great you are. That's what we call social proof. Today's quote is from Andy Crestodina. When you say it, it's marketing. When your customers say it, it's social proof. Social proof helps people who are feeling unsure or unfamiliar with something, like maybe working with a virtual assistant, make the decision more easily based on the opinions and experiences of others. Let's go. A lot of the marketing for your business will occur when you aren't even talking directly to someone on social media or in other conversations. But you can still control what is said when you leverage what we call social proof. Social proof leverages the opinions and feedback of other people to talk about how great your product, or in our case as VAs, service is. For your virtual assistant business, being able to share social proof can really help build the know, like, and trust with those people who have not worked with you before. So what do I mean by social proof? I looked it up on Wikipedia because I can only use so many words to describe it, and this is what it says. Social proof, or informational social influence, is a psychological and social phenomenon wherein people copy the actions of others in choosing how to behave in any given situation. The term was coined by Robert Cialdini in his 1984 book Influence, Science, and Practice. Social proof comes in many forms. Some of you may have thought of before, and some you may not have. But all of them are effective ways to get the word out about your service offerings. Client testimonials, case studies, social media reach and followers, client referrals, awards, recognitions, and media mentions are a few means of collecting social proof. Why does it work? I've told you before that a lot of people trust the opinions of others. When we're going to spend our money on something, we want someone to tell us it's a good decision, don't we? 92% of consumers trust recommendations from others, even people they don't know. Can someone make a purchase without someone else telling them it's a good idea? Of course they can. But think about what you do when you're about to make a purchase. I look them up all the time. Well, almost all the time anyway. If there are testimonials, I read them. If there are reviews, I definitely check them out. If they are referrals, I still ask questions, and I bet you do too. So if you're looking for it when to make a purchase, then you can bet your clients probably are too. Get yours together and get it out there. Why social proof works. One of the reasons that social proof works is psychological, right? Just like Wikipedia says. Knowing that other people have tried whatever it is and been happy or had a positive experience makes a difference, even if we don't know the person who is saying that they liked it. 85% of consumers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. It's the reason that you'll see in a webinar sales pitch the testimonials or the case studies about that person's successful clients. The reason that it's important for you as a VA is a positive one for you too. In my experience, many VAs lack self-confidence, especially starting out. And having the words or opinions of others reinforcing your abilities can help you believe that you can help others too. I always tell you that you have to believe how great you are before your clients will. Trust is built when people share their experiences, so be sure to ask your clients and former clients for their words. Social proof also acts as third-party endorsement, so it takes away from you saying you're great and your client wondering if you're great. When a third person jumps into the conversation, it's like a quorum is achieved and that positive experience is solidified. Online services like VA services come with a certain level of skepticism from some clients, especially if you have a conversation and insist that you don't work out of their office. Of course, we know that this is totally fine. But if a potential client is anxious about that aspect of it, that they won't meet you or see you or be able to work with you, then you're going to need to help them understand that they can feel better about it. And using someone else to tell them that it works can be extremely helpful. So, how can you build social proof? That's actually the easy part. You've worked with people before, lots of people probably. Ask them to write something for you. Current and past clients are the best sources of testimonials. If you don't have a lot of clients yet, consider all the people you've worked with before, your old bosses, managers, colleagues, even the volunteer positions that you've done. Anything that you've done that reflects the work that you do for your clients now. If you were to ask anyone in my village about my organizational abilities, you would hear them say very positive things. I volunteer my time for a lot of local events, and I often take on the admin role because that's one of my specialties. I could get a testimonial from a lot of people about that. It doesn't necessarily need to come from a client, but someone who's worked with you and can sing your praises and mention your special skills. Of course, it's important to tie it back to your VA services. Interactions are also excellent ways to collect social proof. Think about when you see a social media post that has one or a lot of people commenting below how great someone is at organizing or time management or other XYZ services. That is just as effective. A tag in a Facebook group when someone asks for a specialist in a certain service, that is what you want to achieve. That's a direct referral. In terms of clients, you most definitely want to ask them regularly how things are going and collect testimonials from them. You can get words or video, whatever works best for you. LinkedIn and Google reviews are great places to collect your testimonials. You can also just collect them in a document like I do, and then you can use them as you see fit anywhere you like. Case studies are also really great forms of social proof. All you do is you talk about a situation where you have helped your clients or others with a problem and you've solved it for them. Again, tying it back to your VA services. When you can talk about real situations where you've been able to use your services or skills to help someone else, that lends a lot of credibility to your VA business. Where possible, you want to use quantifiable results, though, measurable, right? Did you help someone earn a certain amount of money, get a certain number of leads or clients? Maybe you helped them sell a certain number of tickets to a live event. Whatever you can put a number on actually works harder for you than a general testimonial of, she's organized and she helps me get things done. When you can put real details in like that, it makes a whole lot more, it has a whole lot more credence. Like, what things did you do for them and how did that help them? Acquiring certifications and skills and belonging to an industry association like CAVA can also go a long way to showing potential clients that you are leveled up in your VA business. How to share social proof. Reviews influence the purchasing decisions of 93% of consumers. That's an exorbitantly high number, right? All of these stats that I'm giving you today are really, really high numbers, and there's a reason for that. We've already talked about LinkedIn and Google reviews, but you can share your social proof anywhere you like, and you should, on your website, in your blog posts, on your social media. Create branding images with your social proof, and it can make them really easy to reuse them every so often as well. You should be looking for lesser known places like your email signature, your proposals. Lots of us will put things onto our website and just kind of leave them there, but you want to be purposeful whenever you're using them, and those are two really good places. Consider where your potential clients are looking for a little more to back up their decision that they're taking on, like in a proposal, right? And integrate some of the social proof that you've collected there. So I know you're thinking, what if I don't have clients? Well, what if you don't have clients? If you're a new VA, you may think that you don't have testimonials that are going to make sense or support what it is you do. I haven't worked with a client, so I don't have a client that can write a testimonial for me. Like I said earlier, though, use whatever you can to showcase what you can do. If you don't have people that you can ask to create social proof for you, create it yourself. If you're providing graphic services, create some sample graphics or a portfolio of graphics. If you create websites, first of all, yours better look great. I tell you all the time. But if you can, create a few samples for people to also compare to. If you provide scheduling services or admin services or bookkeeping services, create blog posts and social media posts that showcase how you would help a client. Demos can also be very effective. This is a little into the marketing as opposed to social proof, but when you can use your words to say, this is how I help people, that is the most important part. There are so many ways to create content that acts like social proof. Keeping social proof up to date. Whatever you have out there, be sure to keep it up to date. As I said, reusing it from time to time absolutely makes perfect sense. Social media is never necessary for it to be one and done. But you do want to focus on getting new stuff in all the time. And if your skill set changes, be sure that the social proof that you're sharing also reflects those changes. Don't keep posting testimonial content about general admin if you've changed your niche to something like social media. And certainly, if you have a client who you know has gone out of business, remove their testimonial from your content unless they retired, and then you can just simply update it to reflect that. Just rotate what you have out there and keep the new stuff coming in, and you're going to make very good use of your social proof. How to approach clients for social proof. The best way to get social proof, obviously, is to ask. Ask everybody I've mentioned so far, the people we've been talking about today. Some people will feel shy to write something, anything. And some might even ask you to write something and then they'll approve it. I used to have clients who did that. I can tell you without question, do not do this, okay? Give them instead a simple template to fill out. You can do something like, before I worked with Tracy, I was having difficulty with XYZ. When we started working together, I was able to XYZ. And I would highly recommend working with Tracy if you need help with XYZ. It's a really simple template, and when you give it to them, it makes it easier for them to formulate their thoughts that are actually going to be helpful as a testimonial. Remember, we don't want them just saying, she's great at organization. What were they struggling with, or what were they having trouble with, and how did you help? How did directly working with you help them? You're going to get their words whenever they fill in this template, right? And that's also really, really important. My clients actually found it very helpful to use a template. It was one of my business coaches who used it with their clients, and I formulated or emulated it myself. And I think that that's a really important thing to be able to use. Some people you ask will put this task off because they don't know what to write. And so give them the tools that they can use. Make it as easy as possible for them. And don't forget to follow up with them if you've already asked them. The idea is not just to ask them, but it's actually to get something from them, right? Not to ask once and then figure, oh, well, if they don't get it to you. 68% of consumers will leave a review if asked. That's a pretty high possibility or high probability. So we want to be asking as many people as we can so that we get the material that we need. In order to do that, you can create a system for thinking about feedback and collecting it with every person that you work with. If you're asking people that are not clients, then try to get some words from more than one person, like if it's a volunteer community that you're in or on, you can get different perspectives from the people that you have worked with or helped. And if you need help creating your social proof system and implementing it, that's where I can help. Actually, I'd love to get you there. It's time. You know it's time. I'm here to help. It's the only reason I'm here at all, is to help you become a ridiculously good virtual assistant. But it's you who has to take that first step. I've helped hundreds of VAs who are stuck at moving through private coaching, my monthly mastermind group, The Virtual Circle, my group coaching program, 50K Bootcamp, and my self-study trainings like my Getting Started program, my monthly email membership, the Virtual Toolkit, and more. I have so many ways I can help you, and they're all at different budget points. If you're ready to get my help, let's connect on a cut to the chase call. You can book yours at yourvamentor.com/chase. I would love to help you get there. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Ridiculously Good VA Show. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. For more great resources for your VA business, visit my website at yourvamentor.com. I'll see you back here next time.